Hey everyone, welcome back here to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. My name is Hunter. On this Monday, October the 27th, 2025. We're going to be providing you an update on Melissa, which is Hurricane Melissa in the Caribbean, with its impacts, its track, its intensity, and everything that you need to know about that system. We're going to also look at the long-range pattern across the United States, going through the rest of October and into November, and we're going to also provide you an update on who could see some snowfall perhaps as we go into the new month of November as well. So make sure to like the video. Would love to hit 1,000 likes today. Make sure to share it with a friend, family member, and on social media. And if you are not a subscriber to my YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the post notification bell to all so you get all my videos, all my live streams when I post them to my YouTube channel. For some reason, during the hurricane season and when there's a hurricane, I can't get views on my videos. So again, liking the video, sharing the video, it helps more than you know. So let's get into the forecast. Let's talk about Hurricane Melissa. And it is a very large Category 5 hurricane just to the south of Jamaica. You can see the eye there and a little bit better here. And those whites, grays, and pinks, purples, whatever they may be here over around the eye, that is the convection, and it is robust here just south of Jamaica. The outer bands are definitely making its way into Jamaica and causing a lot of problems, and they'll continue to be over the next several days. One of the reasons why this system has gone rapid intensification is just due to the fact that the Caribbean was such a pristine environment with those ocean temperatures being so warm into the 80s, low 90s. That provided a lot of fuel for this system, kind of like filling your car with gas, right? You fill it up from E all the way to full, and there you go. You can go on a long road trip with your car. Same deal with the hurricane. This is the fuel, right? Those 80-degree water temperatures, low 90-degree water temperatures, that provides plenty of fuel for this system to be a Category 4 and 5 for quite some time. In fact, looking at the intensity guidance for Melissa moving forward, it is a Category 5 system right now. It's going to continue to remain that way really over the next 12 to 24 hours before briefly stepping down into Category 4 strength and weakening as it crosses through land. Hurricanes interacting with mountains and hilly terrain and land in general makes it weaken here, and that's what is likely to happen as it crosses over Cuba and Jamaica over the next couple of days. Let's look at this system here from a background environment standpoint. There is a double-barreled area of high pressure and strong high pressure up in Canada, in Quebec, 1034. Why is that important way up in Canada is that high pressure is keeping that hurricane locked and loaded down here in the Caribbean. It's moving very slow, and that high pressure to the north is blocking it. But watch lower pressure in the plain start to develop as we go towards midweek. That low pressure is going to develop across the southeast as we go into Wednesday on October 29th. And as it crosses over Cuba, Hurricane Melissa, it's going to kind of take on that trough and move along with it up just off the east coast and towards Bermuda here and get picked up by that trough. You can see it better here. Here's the jet streak that's just coming in, the energy from that trough coming into the Rockies as we speak today. Then as we go into Tuesday, that drops down to the southern plains. Wednesday, that trough starts to move into the southeast. Low pressure starts to develop. Melissa already making its way through eastern Cuba into the eastern Bahamas. And then it gets picked up by that trough and moves away from North America, although we still have to watch it there for the island of Bermuda. So rainfall is going to be a big impact here. Mudslides are almost certainly expected across Jamaica into eastern Cuba with an additional 2 to 3 feet of rain all the way through Thursday with this system. And the eastern islands of the Bahamas, you're not out of the woods either. I think we could be seeing easily a foot and a half of rain for you, even as a weakening system moves into your area. A hurricane is definitely still likely there in the eastern Bahamas. Closer to home here, we have some cooler weather to talk about across the southeast, below normal temperatures by a handful of degrees for the week ahead between today and Friday on Halloween, October 31st. And we look at those temperatures this afternoon. If you're in the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, even in the Northeast, a little bit cooler into the 50s and 60s. Even the Southeast here, Atlanta, Georgia, being held down into the low 50s for highs this afternoon. Probably got the jackets on down there. Then as we go to Tuesday, you can see some cooler air moving moving into the plains, upper 40s to mid 50s range for high temperatures. Wednesday looks to be the coldest day of the season on a widespread scale so far this year across the United States, with those 50s diving all the way down into Oklahoma, into Arkansas, into northern Mississippi and Alabama, Georgia. A lot of areas here in the 50s on Wednesday. Thursday, we start to get a little bit of a push of those 60s back north, and then the same deal on Friday. Although look at North Dakota on Friday, barely getting into the 40s for high temperatures. Our low temperatures over the next several days going to feel more fall-like here as we go through the week, especially as we go toward late week, even winter-like in some areas, into the upper 20s. So you're going to need a heavier jacket if you're heading to work or school across the northern and western U.S. as we go through the week ahead, especially by mid and late week, as those temperatures are going to be from the upper 20s to the mid 30s starting off your mornings. Precipitation going to be active across the eastern United States this week. We're going to be watching those trends for any trick-or-treaters out there once we get to Friday, October 31st for Halloween, especially seeing those wetter trends across the east, a little bit drier out west and across the south. Be keeping an eye on that. But just over the next couple of days, today there's a marginal risk of some stronger thunderstorms with some gusty winds, smaller hail across eastern Florida, Daytona Beach down there almost to Miami and Dade County. Then as we go into Tuesday, tomorrow on October 28th, we see a chance of thunderstorms mainly confined to the mid and lower Mississippi Valley region. And then as we go to Wednesday, all that cool air that I showed you by midweek is actually going to squelch the thunderstorm threat. So not only do we not have severe weather, we likely won't even have any thunderstorms on the mainland U.S. as we go into Wednesday. Let's look at the regional view of the east first. We'll look at the central next and the western after that. We got some rainfall activity, rumbles of thunder across the southeast this Monday afternoon. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy across the northeast here this afternoon. So it'll be a pretty delightful fall Monday out there. And then we'll see that increase of cloud cover across the mid-Atlantic and northeast a little bit as we go into Tuesday. Although I do call it a mostly sunny sky from Pennsylvania up into New York State and Vermont as we go into the day on Tuesday. Increase of cloud could lead to some showers, drizzle there on Tuesday from the lower Ohio Valley to the southeast. Again, more of a gray afternoon is expected there. Into the central U.S. here, we got some rain shower, a few thunderstorms possible across North and South Dakota. Higher elevation snow for Wyoming, keeping an eye on that. And we have an increase of cloud cover across the Midwest this evening. That will give way to some showers and drizzle across much of the Midwest, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Missouri, including the Ozarks region as we go into Tuesday afternoon and evening. And that will be pretty light precipitation, maybe some heavier pockets there where you see the yellows and oranges. But overall, a steady lighter rain, lighter drizzle, and then we start to clear those clouds out here Wednesday or Tuesday evening across the western plains. We'll call it a mostly clear sky, and that will make our temperatures tumble into winter-like territory with the 20s and 30s out there. In the western United States here, we got mostly cloudy to overcast skies across the north into the northern Rockies. Desert Southwest is pretty clear as we go into the afternoon. We'll see bright sunshine from start to finish, San Diego over there to Phoenix and Las Vegas. And then as we go here to the day on Tuesday, we'll see an increase of some mid and higher level clouds across the Pacific Northwest, maybe some rainfall there for Seattle and portions there of Portland, Oregon. Should be on the lighter side until we get to about Wednesday morning. Then we'll see some heavier downpours possible for Seattle heading into midweek. Midweek, that storm system that's developing in the southeast is key to actually latching on to Melissa there, Hurricane Melissa, as it crosses into the eastern Bahamas, picking it up, but definitely bringing some soaking rains to the northeast as we go into Thursday. Very dry weather across the central and west as we go to late week, but that just means we're going to have a lot of clear weather, clear skies this time of year. That's going to make our temperatures tumble, so keep that in mind. Probably going to need the jacket heading into the weekend, and you can see there's a couple smaller scale storm systems moving through this weekend from the northwest to the southeast, bringing mainly lighter precipitation, drizzle, and or some snow flurries as we have some cool weather coming in as well. So rainfall amounts between now and next Monday at 7 a.m. on Monday, November the 3rd. We're going to be looking at rainfall in the east, especially from Tennessee up toward Maine. We could be seeing 1 to 3 inches of rain, a little bit drier there toward northern Illinois and Wisconsin and Michigan and Indiana, and then especially dry in the desert Southwest. Wall-to-wall sunshine is expected throughout the week, and then picking back up with the moisture across portions of the Pacific Northwest, whether that's the Cascades in the higher elevation with snow or the lower elevations with rain in Seattle, Portland, Eugene, and Medford could be seeing a couple inches of rain throughout the week. Snowfall going to be, again, it can be confined to the higher elevations of the Northwest Rockies, Idaho, Montana, into Wyoming there. The heavier snows, again, like we've seen it so far this season, bottled up to the north into Western Canada, British Columbia, a few feet of snow, portions of southern Alaska in the higher elevations, Alberta up there into Yukon, Canada, keeping an eye on that again through next Monday. Looking at the long-range trends, next Monday is, yes, obviously November 3rd. So November 3rd all the way through Friday, November the 7th, we're going to have a trough in the east and then a ridge developing in the west. Pretty cut and dry here. The trough is going to bring active weather and cloud cover, keeping those temperatures below normal in the east. And then the ridge is going to bring more sunshine and drier weather, which is going to warm us up here with the drought feedback, especially out here. Our temperatures could be leaning more 20 degrees above normal in some areas out across the west. The plains, the Rockies, the immediate west coast, definitely going to fall in line with that. And then as we look at the precipitation next week, drier across the south and southeast, a little bit wetter again with that trough in close proximity there to the northeast. And then we're going to see more systems coming in from southwestern Canada, maybe briefly interacting with the Pacific Northwest. They're going to be faster moving systems next week. We look here at the second week of November. It still looks like we're going to be trending near normal or slightly below normal in the east and above normal in the central and western U.S. as we go from the 8th through the 15th, and wetter across the eastern seaboard from Florida to Maine and everywhere in between. Southern Canada also getting active, but the lower 48, especially across the plains and the Rockies out west, going to be trending more dry going into that second week of November. And yes, the snow line could be pushing a little bit further south by the time we get towards mid-November into the southern Canadian prairies, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, and Quebec, and maybe, just maybe, some snowfall that is measurable up across the far northern U.S., North Dakota, northern Minnesota, and up near Lake Superior into the UP of Michigan, keeping an eye on that. That's the European Extended Ensemble Guidance. The GFS Extended Ensemble Guidance is really kind of in that ballpark as well, so be keeping an eye on even some snow prospects by mid-November into the northern United States, that is for sure. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate everybody watching my weather forecast. If you are here, make sure again to give it a like. For some reason, again, my videos don't do well during the hurricane season. When there's a hurricane, I just don't have that video out there on YouTube that reaches tons of people. So make sure to like the video. That combats that to help more people watch my videos. So like the video, share with a friend, family member, and on social media. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. We cover Canada, the United States, and the tropics. Thank you all for your support. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful and safe rest of your Monday out there.